My contact. Okay.
Why are you bothering to carry all that junk? I'll try not to be a back. Driver. What have we got? Animal, vegetable, or mineral? We're making good time.
The mineral content of this soil is ideal for producing vegetables.
I'm glad someone came along. We could really use your help. We were out on patrol when corrosive vapor started to spew out of cracks in the ground. We all got out of there as fast. He must have gotten hurt in all of the chaos. We need you to bring him back. Can you do this for us? Thank you so much. Please be careful. Right, back to it.
Is it really necessary for you to drag around all that gear?
Thanks for stopping to say hello. Most travelers pass us by. Please, stay safe out there.
Nice suit. Constellation? Never heard of you. Lots of travelers sell me things when they stop by. I hope you'll do the same.
I never think about my old life unless someone like you comes around.
Welcome to our little slice of paradise. It's nice to have a visitor.
Take a load off. Life moves slow in our little outpost.
Hey, that isn't yours.
Producing suitable sustenance for your species requires a titanic effort.
We're improving. I'd offer to sell you some supplies,
One day,
but
I'll
I'm
leave
hungry.
this place.
Look for someone with us.
You should check out our store while you're here. Our vendor could use the business.
You can trust what you buy here. Want to check out the food I'm selling? I bet you're hungry after coming all. This is what I have. Take care out there.
And off we go. Doesn't look like much, but we should certainly take a look around. for God's sake. Drop some of that rubbish already.
What's that? Ah, but let's stick together. To talk to John. Take your time.
I carry most of the same goods as Jamison Mercantile, and
You're
I
back!
won't overcharge you for that.
Please, take this. It's not much, but I...
It's you and me from here out. Excellent. That reminds me of the old theme park rides at the New Atlantic Fairgrounds. Slowing down now. This is definitely not the kind of place I'd set up an outpost. Think for you when you have a moment.
You look well today.
What's the good word, Chief?
Did you need my help with something?
Got some new orders for me?
Carrying enough clutter there, or should we find some more?
You need something?
Hello again.
Need something, Chief?
Hey, Captain.
Hey there. How's it going? Just doing my job, Chief. We'll catch up later.
It is good to see you.
We have liftoff. Stay in orbit or jump. Your call.
Thanks again for the help.
Smooth jump. Nice work.
Lieutenant responding to hail. Clear the dock. Welcome to UC space.
And we're locked in.
Something you might be interested in.
If there's anything I can do, I hope we have what you need.
really did think this place would see a bit more action. It's a little surprising. Isn't it? Out here on the edge of UC space. But it's just so quiet.
Was there something you needed? By all means.
If you're ever in New Atlantis, word for me? I don't think my messages to SSNN are getting through.
Back from a hard day's work promoting the heroes of the UC. I like it. Here's the credits, as promised. The United Colonies thanks you. Sure thing. Long live the UC.
I have things for you. Pressure normalizing. Undocking complete.
Sounds fun, though. Freestar Collective says they're run by the Council of Governors. But if there's any actual governance going on from that group, I haven't seen it. The Collective's about opportunity. No hulking bureaucracy's bossing you around. Living life how you want. Oh, sure.
New homestead, eh? This place hasn't changed much since the 2100s.
Welcome to New Homestead. Please make your way to the building at the end of the path and down into the colony below. Stay safe and enjoy your visit.
Lots of history here, if you're into that sort of thing. We used to get more tourists than we do these days. Those folks in Stonia may be closer to Earth, but we do a better job preserving its traditions.
Careful. There are some dangerous areas around here that are not part of any tours. Welcome to New Homestead.
I could really go for some of Anya's cooking over at the Brown Horse.
Anything I can help you with? I'm sure you can find something you like.
In on deck.
Something for you when you have a moment.
You should inspect your ship for heat leeches every couple. Sure, how about? Hey, what can I do for you? I'm sure you can find...
I don't mind the tourists. Help the local economy.
Hi there. Always nice seeing a new face.
Just got a message. Looks like we got another leak in Sector 3.
Again? That's the second time this month.
I know. I'll send someone to go patch it up again. We do what we gotta do until we can get the approval to replace the whole unit.
Well, the leaks haven't been too bad, and it's held together this long, I suppose. We'll make do.
Off-worlders always ask how I can live here. I wonder how they can live anywhere else. You get used to the methane processing smell after a while.
The people here live a simple life. Try not to complicate it.
Sure would be nice to get off-world sometime.
Someone's got to talk to...
It must be difficult, trying to survive, when this collection of shipping containers is all you have for permanent accommodations.
I'm not sure that these space frog pictures fit with our town's historical aesthetic, but they do bring a smile to my face.
Going to make me an exception to your crimes.
Another tourist come to learn about the ice mines, huh? It's dangerous in the ice mines. I'd much rather answer your questions than have you going off to explore on your own. For one, New Homestead is not a wealthy colony. But we also pride ourselves on doing things the old ways. It's part of the living history, they say. We don't mind. We work hard here, and it's very rewarding. For drinking water, and we use some of it to produce this air you're breathing. We recycle a lot of what we use, but we still need a nice, steady supply of fresh water. Lucky for us, Titan provides. I'm surprised I still get this question. It's slippery, it's sharp, it can break, it can cave in. Those are just the obvious examples. Titan is also full of methane, which can sometimes be trapped under the ice. As you know, methane can explode under the right conditions. It can also asphyxiate you if you breathe in too much of it. Ah, so you can relate. It's good to talk with someone who understands the challenges of the job. Not everyone does. If I might ask, what do you mind? Oh, That's not what I expected at all when you said you did mining. But, visions, you say? Huh? That sounds more like what those people get up to in Neon, from what I understand. Anyway, I'm sure we could swap mining stories all day, but, I really should be getting back to what I was doing soon. Bye.
Oh, the tourists hated that. Well, Joyce says she's on it.
It's been a while since I last visited. Nice to see this place still has the same charm.
Joyce is great at what she does. I'm sure she'll handle it.
It's a little weird that people come here to see what early colony life was like.
Lots of
Me,
history
it's
here.
Just how we...
Ice mining operations are unusual, but if they're run properly, they can prove to be quite lucrative.
Hi there. Always nice to see a new face.
There's a big pocket.
Hi there. Always nice to see a new face.
There's a big pocket.
Hi there. Always nice to see a new face.
We used to get more tourists than we do these days.
Sure would be nice to get off-world sometime.
I could have sworn I've seen those silly little space frog posters somewhere else. Never thought I'd see them here.
You get used to the methane processing smell after a while.
I can't imagine living here. These people sure are hardy.
I wonder how they can live...
Welcome. I'm Anya. Is this your first time with us at the Brown Horse Tavern? Oh, Well, thank you for joining us. You're in for a real treat. We've got an assortment of food and drinks, some of which follow homemade recipes that have been passed down over hundreds of years. So, what can I do for you? Oh, hardly. The locals pretty much stay away from chunks, so whenever they don't feel like cooking themselves and want a fresh meal, they come to me. Only the tourists eat that junk. But don't tell that to my husband. He manages the chunks. I love him, but he's a bit of a fanatic about it. You mean the Brown Horse? Well, it's only the longest continuous running restaurant since humans started settling outside of Earth. There's a lot of history within these walls. And some damn fine food and drink, if I say so myself. This place has been in my family for generations. My however many great-grandmother opened it when the first colony started on Titan. Back then, it was a simple mess hall that she chose to put a little extra love and flavor into. And now, it's the pride of New Homestead. Let me show you what we have. Hope you'll be back sometime.
Well, what did we think of the tour?
Very informative. I didn't know. How about the methane harvesters before coming here?
Brown Horse Tavern. Sometime, and I hope you'll consider another.
It's so cold here.
Tell your friends.
I guess I should have expected that.
Thanks again.
Excuse me. You picking a pocket or a fight?
Do a better job of keeping your tour groups out of trouble.
Did you know the museum
That
here
little boy
is full
almost
of
wound
old
up on my
Earth
operating
artifacts?
table.
Cool, huh?
Claudio said he was playing with some of the machinery down by the mines and nearly got his arm stuck inside. It could have been ripped off.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know, kids, little troublemakers. I'll tell the guests to be more careful.
Damn right. You've got to do something. Or else next time it happens, I'm billing you personally.
Boy, am I glad they have a chunks here.
My contact is in Van. Bye-bye.
New Homestead is a living history exhibit, but these are...
real people, so please be kind to them.
Heads up if you're planning on going to Chunks. Luther's been bothering anyone with a ship for help.
There are times I envy those who are able to travel like you.
This Colin, word of advice, steer clear of the doctor here. She really seems to have a problem with tourists for some reason.
Those folks, and if you need medical attention, see Dr. Lakota. But a word of warning, she really doesn't care for tourists.
Stop! In the...
Hello there. Wonderful. These are all rare artifacts from before the collapse of Earth. There isn't much of this stuff left outside of private collections, but here we're happy to share a glimpse of them with the public. If you have any questions about the exhibit or New Homestead, I'm happy to answer as best as I can. It's an interesting story. New Homestead began as a scientific research base called the Titan Astrobase, back when space travel was in its infancy. The hope was that humanity would be able to discover simple alien life here given the moon's composition and water supply. When that ultimately failed, it was repurposed as a colony research base, where scientists and engineers studied how to build colonies on inhospitable worlds. Then, finally, when gravity drives were commonplace and we started finding Earth-like planets, New Homestead was born as a living history community to preserve that past. When our early colonists learned of Earth's demise, they decided to take on the names of their cities of origin as a way to remember their heritage. Now, some may have been lost in translation over the years, and some may have taken it more seriously than others, but the names are mostly accurate. For instance, My family comes from the city of Lyon, in a country that was called France. I am Maurice Lyon, and I am the community elder. As the oldest living citizen at 96, my only job is to keep Earth history alive. I tell stories to the young people and the visitors from other worlds. Although my memory isn't what it used to be, I try my best to get the stories right. Of course, certainly. We have several items in our collection that we rotate in and out over time, but they all originate from the same place, Earth. We have everything from toys to antique technology to sports memorabilia. We even used to have an old Earth vehicle, but we had to sell it when we ran out of space for it. Most of our collection was donated by fellow Earth enthusiasts and historians who felt it belonged close to the homeland here in the Sol system. Sure, I'd love to. There was once a war so big that they say all of the world was involved. This was actually the second time it happened. They fought because a terrible man named Hitler rose to power and slaughtered many innocents. Millions were lost. Even the colony war pales in comparison. Why, certainly. It's what I do. There was a time when huge monstrosities called dinosaurs ruled over Earth, long before humans existed. They were similar to some of the larger life forms you might see elsewhere in the settled systems. Their reign ended when I can never remember if it was a comet, an asteroid, or a meteor that hit the Earth. Whatever it was, it nearly wiped out most of the life at that time. Let me think of a good one. A long time ago, thousands of years, humans built a wall so large it spanned the northern length of one of Earth's largest empires, China. They called it the Great Wall of China, and it was meant to keep out invading hordes. If I recall correctly, it didn't always work as well as they had hoped. I'll have to look it up again. Memory's not what it once was. I heard that there was once a giant creature that attacked one of Earth's major cities. It knocked over buildings and... You know, my apologies. I'm pretty sure I'm confusing that with an old movie. Why, certainly. Long ago, people built boats to sail the Earth's largest ocean, the Pacific. They would travel from one island to the next. Some of Earth's greatest civilizations formed this way. The Philippines, Indonesia, Hawaii, and many more. It's quite incredible that even way back then, humanity was constantly exploring and spreading far and wide, just like we do today. Sure. Have I told you about the Titanic? Named after the same Titan our humble homeworld is. It was a massive ocean liner, the biggest they ever built at the time. Said to be virtually indestructible. but it sank when it hit an iceberg. Hubris truly is the folly of humankind. Sure, I may need to brush up on this one because I forget some. Have you ever heard of Bollywood? No, Hollywood, that's it. Though Bollywood is just as important, Hollywood was a city in a place called California. It was famous for being the birthplace of movies as we know them. It formed because the weather was almost always ideal, and its location allowed filmmakers to more easily evade litigation by a man named Thomas Edison, who owned several movie-making patents at the time. Why, sir, here's one about the place my ancestors came from, France. In the late 1700s, people were unhappy with the way the king was running the country. The common people rose up and had a revolution, storming the Bastille, which helped them turn the tide of battle. Eventually, they overthrew King Louis XVI, I believe, and sentenced him and the queen to death by beheading. Barbaric, but effective. Thanks for visiting.
I hope that was worth the risk.
I could really go for... some of Anya's cooking over at the Brown Horse.
Come to New Homestead for the history, stay for the quaint charm. Why, hello there! I'm Bill Starsap of Starsap Tours. Let me tell you, this place is full of history and interesting facts. For instance, did you know that New Homestead was one of the first colonies established outside of Earth? It's been populated in some capacity for over 200 years. Well, there's plenty more where that came from if you're interested in taking one of my famous tours. So what do you say? I've got an opening. I could take you on a tour right now if you'd like. Definitely check out the Brown Horse Tavern. Good food, great atmosphere. Avoid spending too much time outdoors. It's freezing out there. Any more than that, and well, I'd be giving away the tour for free. Hey, no rush. Why would I want a tour of New Homestead, he says. Well, let me tell you, New Homestead is living history. These people are direct descendants of some of the first settlers to leave Earth. If you've ever wanted to know what that early colonial life was like, this is your chance to embark on a fun-filled exhibition unlike any other. None taken. I get it all the time. If you think it sounds made up, well, that's because it is. I come from an eccentric family. Back in the early days of space travel, generations ago, my ancestors were really into science fiction. They wanted a name that seemed like it fit into the stories they grew up with, so they changed their last name, and the Starsap family name was born. Used to be Bramblefoot before that. Their ancestors liked a different type of fiction. Excellent! You won't regret it! My tours are one of a kind! Now, there's just the matter of price. The going rate for a genuine StarSap tour is only 100 credits. Well, 100 credits is very reasonable, I think. I know. I gotta work on my pitch a little. Maybe I could give you a discount just this once to prove my tour is worth it. True, you could, but I doubt you'll get all the information I'm gonna give you. Well, I don't usually do exposure, but you certainly seem like a well-traveled individual. Maybe it'll be good for business. Tell you what, I like you. This one's on the house, but if you enjoyed the tour, I'd really appreciate if you'd tell all your friends about me when it's done. So let's get this show on the road, eh? All right, so this is New Homestead's main concourse. This underground area didn't exist when the original outpost, Titan Astrobase, was finished in 2130. Follow me. We'll come back here by the end of the tour and talk about the museum collection. But first, let's go see where people live. Now remember, these people aren't actors. They actually live here, so
I still
try
can't
to be
believe people
respectful
actually
of that.
live like this.
While the original inhabitants of the Titan Astrobase lived in pods like you saw up above, they transitioned down here when this section of the base was finished in 2144. Space is extremely limited, so you'll notice some overflow here, but more residences also exist on lower levels, which are inaccessible to tours. I'll stop at each of our destinations if you want to look around, or if you have any questions for me.
I kind of want to try food from that Chunks place, but my papa says it's just a bunch of junk food for tourists.
Must be nice to be able to afford to travel, huh? Oh, you don't really want to talk to me. I'm just a nobody from the crates. Besides, I'm not really good at talking to tourists about New Homestead. If you're really interested in our history, talk to Maurice. He's a lot better at that than I am. I feel like it sometimes. I don't have many friends, and I'm struggling to stay in my undergrad program. It feels like I'm never going to get out of here and make a name for myself. Anyway, if we're going to talk, maybe we should talk about something else. It's not as bad as you'd think. I like talking to off-worlders, especially people my age. It gives me ideas for what I want to do when I'm done with school. Because, honestly, I'm not sure I want to stay here. It'll always be my home, but as soon as I can afford to, I'd love to explore my options. Well, I'm trying to finish up my undergrad schooling, actually. I want to be a physicist like my grandmother. Then, who knows what. But I also do some odd jobs here or there for money. Sometimes I help Jay out at his shop, and he gives me stuff in return. Sometimes I help Anya clean up at the Brown Horse when she's short-staffed. That sort of thing. The crates are what we call the living quarters for the poor people, like me. They're made from old shipping containers. We have to make do with the space we have here. They're comfortable enough, I guess. And no one on Titan is well off to begin with, but you can tell that people look down on us, especially some of the tourists. Okay, well, no. Not the studies specifically. Like, I get good grades when I'm able to apply myself. But I'm poor. I just don't have the kind of money to be a full-time student and support myself. Even living in the cheap-ass crates. I keep having to take odd jobs just to put food on my plate. And when I do, my grades suffer. I just feel like I'll be stuck in a rut forever. What? Really? I don't know what to say. This is beyond kind of you. I mean, I don't even know you, but... Wow. Thank you.
I'm pleased that you realize the importance of a decent education.
Fishing for a handout, eh? Goodbye.
Some say New Homestead is a backwoods world. Maybe it is, but that doesn't really bother me. Thanks for stopping by to talk.
Better think about what you're taking.
If you need medical, those folks in Sidonia may be closer to Earth, but we do a better job preserving its traditions. It's a little weird that people come here to see what early colony life was like. To me, it's just how we live.
I don't mind the tourists. They help the local economy. It's a little weird that people come here to see what early colony life was like. To me, it's just how we live.
Thanks again for what you did for me. I'll remember your generosity.
I can't wait to go away on my learning vacation when I grow up.
I'll treat you if you need it, but please try to be more careful around here.
Ooh, I hope the data on there was worth all of the trouble.
If you take one of those stupid tours, make sure to follow the rules. They're for your own safety. And my own safety. Do you need medical assistance? Even though we don't have shiny new medical facilities, I imagine it's easier than wherever you're from. We have fewer people here, and we're very responsible when it comes to our personal health and welfare. So there's not much I can't handle. For anything else, we can get access to off-world specialists. Contrary to popular belief, we're not primitive. It's a harsh world, but as long as you're inside or wear a suit when going out, you'll be fine here. There's no breathable air on the surface, and you'll quickly freeze to death outside without protective gear, but otherwise the hazards are minimal. New Homestead was an early colony research base and has stood the test of time. It's safe, and it's proof that people can live pretty much anywhere. Don't worry so much. I don't. They make a mockery of New Homestead culture. And on top of it, they're reckless. It's like I said before, I feel like I'm treating them more often than our own people. Actually, maybe there is. I have an idea that may be best suited for someone relatively unknown, instead of myself. I've got a mountain of work and a reputation to maintain. So I bought a realistic monster costume. The plan was to wear it, scare tourists away, and start a rumor about terrible creatures living on Titan. I figure that once word gets around, tourism will take enough of a dive to give me some relief. Maybe, I'm not sure. I know it sounds crazy, but I don't have any other ideas. The tourism board flat out won't help me, and I don't have money in the budget to hire additional help. And you know these tourists will believe anything they see and hear. I think it's worth a shot. Worst case scenario, I'm back to square one. That's the spirit. To be honest, I'm not sure it'll work either, but I feel like there's no harm in trying. Here's the costume. I think this will work best on the surface, so just find a group and run up to them, acting like a convincing alien monster. With any luck, they'll run screaming and book the next flight out of here.
Feel free to look around, but don't touch.
Those folks in Sidonia may be closer to Earth, but we do a better job preserving its traditions.
I could really go for some of Anya's cooking over at the Brown Horse.
I don't mind the tourists. They help the local economy.
Lots of history here, if you're into that sort of thing. Off-worlders always ask how I can live here. I wonder how they can live anywhere else.
Have any questions so far? I'm not sure the exact count, but New Homestead is a fairly small colony. What you see is what you get for the most part, except for some other people who live in the private lower levels. Some, particularly security, and yours truly, even commute from other worlds. The original Titan Astrobase had more habitation pods on the surface connected to some of the old structures you may have seen in the back. As the colony grew, the base was expanded underground, and those hab units were recycled into materials used down here. Sadly, it's difficult to get additional construction done inside these underground caverns. So for now, additional populations are housed in these stacks of old shipping crates. As you might expect, this is where some of the less wealthy can afford to live. It's not glamorous, but they are functional and cozy. Oh, sure, I'll be here waiting. The locals love to talk with tourists, but they'll let you know if they're busy. Have any questions, so? Alrighty, we'll be taking the residential elevator to the farms area on the surface level. This way, please. Let's leave these good people alone for now and go check out the farms. Follow me up the elevator. New Homestead's farms are the beating heart of the colony. Without them, the original outpost would have shriveled and died. These pods are sealed and climate-controlled, the perfect environment for growing the hydroponic vegetation needed for survival in the early days of the colony.
We talked about this, Sylvia. If you want to go there for a vacation when you're older, you can, but not until then. We get a lot of tourists out this way, but most of them aren't so bold as to strike up conversations with us. What's your deal? You seem genuine enough. So what can I do for you? From what I know about farming elsewhere, it's largely the same. Big difference is that we need to import or make our own soil. And we need to be extra careful with our temperature control. Titan's surface is frozen, and it's not much better just below it with the ice caves. Then it's just a matter of artificial sunlight and supplying CO2 for the crops. It's not too challenging. Well, for one, it's my wife Mara's farm. I just had the good fortune of marrying into it. It's been in her family for generations. We're the best source of fresh produce in the colony. Not like that processed junk we get from off-world, and certainly nothing like that eyesore chunks. No worries. You have yourself a day now.
Keep doing that, and your land doesn't... Prison.
Did you know that Earth had all sorts of cool animals? Actually, lots of planets do. But not this one. Sad, huh? Hello? I'm not really supposed to talk with tourists, but I kind of want to anyway. And I don't think my papa is paying attention. You're not going to tell him, are you? Oh, thank you! I promise it'll be fun. I like talking to tourists. I get to learn so much about everywhere else, and they get to learn about here. Now what should we talk about? I think it's pretty fun. And I get to be around my mama and my papa all day, so that's cool. They say we all have to work a little, because it takes all of us to make the community work. Just like on Earth a really, really, really long time ago. Someday, I think it'd be cool to see other places and do other things, but this is fine for now. My mama says it's because he thinks we'd up and leave if we found out about the rest of the worlds out there. But I keep telling him, I love it here, and I love him, and I would never leave him. He doesn't believe it. He says the kids almost always want to leave when they grow up. But not me. Nope. I just want to visit somewhere else. Maybe. Not really. There's some, though. Most are around my age. We all go to school in the same room. I don't know. I've never been to any other schools. We mostly learn about the history of the Sol system and Earth and stuff like that, until we get old enough to go on our learning vacation. That's when we get to leave to go to school somewhere else for a few years, or travel and visit other worlds, try out jobs and stuff. Oh, I can't wait. Thanks for taking the time to talk with me.
You all can travel the stars, but someone's got to respect and preserve the old Sol traditions.
We used to get more tourists than we do these days.
We were learning about Jemison in my class the other day. Can we go there someday, Mama?
We talked about this, Sylvie. If you want to go there for your learning vacation on your own, you may.
Sure would be nice to get off world sometime.
Dear, maybe we should talk about it before we say no?
You know we can't afford to leave the farm. People here depend on us.
I know.
Ah, there. Always nice
Tell you
seeing a
what,
new face.
Your mom and I will talk about it.
Thanks, Papa.
Running this farm with my family for the sake of our little colony is one of the greatest pleasures in life. Ah, someone new. Are you a tourist, or have you just moved to New Homestead? Oh, you should probably know then that homes aren't the same as where you're probably from. You'd be lucky to own a private room, let alone a whole hab unit of your own, but don't let that scare you away. It's quite cozy and pleasant here. I'm fascinated by the other worlds in the settled systems. Do you mind if I ask you a question? Oh, wonderful. What's New Atlantis like? Oh my, that sounds incredible. Ever since I overheard one of the tourists speaking about it, I've always wanted to go. We hear about it, of course, but we rarely get much exposure to other worlds beyond the people who come from them to visit our little colony. I wonder if I can convince Nathaniel to go on a trip there with me and our daughter. Do you mind if I ask you another question? Thanks. I promise not to take too much of your time. Is the Freestar Collective as lawless as I've heard? Really? That sounds nice, but what happens if there's a dispute? Who settles it? Do people really just take the law into their own hands at that point? Can people be trusted to do the right thing? Gosh, I'm sorry, you don't need to answer all of that.
I'm just so fascinated by it all. Is it okay if I change the subject? Oh, thank you. Are there really planets full of plants, fresh air, and water? I've read about them. It seems incredible, doesn't it? I've only ever known Titan, and it's always so cold and drab. I've always dreamed of visiting one to breathe the air, feel the warmth of its sun, but my husband is reluctant to leave our home. Can I ask you something else? Oh, thank you. Is space travel as exciting as it seems? I've heard stories about pirates and spaceship malfunctions and all sorts of terrible things. I've always wanted to try going into space, but I'm also worried about all those dangers. Maybe people here are right. The dangers here are few, and we know how to take care of them. Space is too unknown. Those are all the questions I have at the moment. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day for me.
You get used to the methane processing smell after a while.
I've heard about lots of other planets out there. Some of them sound pretty scary.
Enjoy your visit here.
Off-worlders always ask how I can live here. I wonder how they can live anywhere else.
You shouldn't have taken that from them.
We take vandalism seriously here. You don't mess with history.
Interesting. The last thing I expected to stumble across at this type of settlement is a museum. Might be worth a look around.
This is a boring... Hello. Don't stay outside for too long here on Titan. You'll freeze solid without the proper protection.
Normstead is a living history exhibit. but these are real people, so please be kind to them. Careful, there are some dangerous areas around here that are not part of any tours.
Any questions about the farms? Good question. It's largely the same, because this was the colony that pioneered the techniques you see elsewhere. But you'll notice that the farms here are smaller and staffed by humans, not robots. Things here are a little more old-fashioned compared to some of the large factory farms you'll find elsewhere in the settled systems. These days, it's a mix of what you find elsewhere in the galaxy, but in the olden days, it was all brought over from Earth. It was a lot of hardy root vegetables like potatoes, carrots, beets, and such, supplemented with corn, peas, green beans, soy, etc., which didn't always grow as well. Oh, they are indeed. Colonists still cultivate plant-based food for their own consumption here in New Homestead. It's less vital to their survival these days, as they also import supplemental food from other colonies, including meats, dairy, and synthetics. However, most citizens here take pride in a New Homestead-grown, sustainable diet. Onward it is! We'll be stopping by the Brown Horse Tavern later in the tour, which uses many of these locally sourced ingredients in their cooking. But for now, it's just a short way to our next stop. Follow me! So, the old biolabs are just on the other side of this building, believe it or not. We'll step on through the hallway there. They're not in use anymore, but the colony has faithfully recreated them as a historical exhibit, true to the original purpose of the Titan Astrobase. Sadly, they're undergoing some light renovation. Otherwise, there'd be interactive activities for kids to learn about how they used to search for microbial life here. Pardon the dust, but I can still answer some questions about the old Titan Astrobase biolabs. Oh, I'm sorry. I completely forgot to mention that. That's what this place was originally called. When NASA divested its interest in the Astrobase and turned it over to the people back in 2185, they renamed it New Homestead and established it as a historical site. Funny you should ask. Sadly, none. See, NASA funded the Titan Astrobase project because conditions seemed ripe for primordial life to form in Titan's methane pools. They tested many different sites, performed deep core ice drilling, and more, yet nothing turned up. Well, NASA defunded the xenobiology program in 2132, but a scientist by the name of Catherine Neely proposed research into advanced colony building on inhospitable worlds. So, by 2135, work began on what would ultimately set us all up to create habitats anywhere humans dared to explore. These very labs housed the computer systems used in that research. That and general storage for the colony. Lots of storage. You got it. On to our next stop. Next, we'll be heading outside.
Enjoy your visit here.
Make sure to check those seals on your suit because it's a bit chilly out there. We're going out into the frozen wastes of Titan to see what powers this planet. Watch your step outside, by the way. The ice can be slippery if you're not careful. The goal is to keep people out of Dr. Lakota's infirmary.
Anyway, where were we? Oh, yes. Powering New Homestead. As you might imagine, generating energy was a real challenge back in the day because the technology was much more crude then. But crude or not, it was that technology that sustained the old Astro base. And it might surprise you to learn that the same technology is still working today. The interesting thing about this old colony is that it's mostly powered by clean, renewable energy. You'll see one of the methods used on the horizon up ahead. That's right, New Homestead's famous wind farm. This spot was chosen for the colony in part because of its constant winds. These turbines have been integral to the colony's function since its establishment as a cheap, mostly reliable source of electricity.
How irresponsible you're acting right now. So, let's talk about wind power, shall we? You're right. Most surface wind on Titan isn't too terribly strong, but here, the altitude and other conditions are perfect for sustained wind power. Like many worlds with atmosphere, the higher you go, the windier it gets. You're looking at a piece of history. Sure, wind power is used throughout the galaxy, but these people were able to make do with it for hundreds of years. It's impressive that was all they had back then, and still make it work to this day. Mostly. I'm sure you've noticed the occasional brownouts. I guess these old machines have a habit of freezing up, what with all the ice out here. There's some methane on reserve for critical life support systems, but everything else here is otherwise powered by the units you see here. You're the boss. Let's go! Moving right along, we're going to learn about Titan's great natural resources. Titan is rich with hydrocarbons like methane and ethane. Surely you saw huge pools of the stuff on your descent into New Homestead. I like to think they add to the natural beauty of this world. Of course, stay away from them because, like anything beautiful, they can be dangerous. Just like my last ex-wife's pet. She had this gorgeous, I don't know what you'd call it, creature. The guy that sold it to her couldn't tell her what it was or where it was from. I don't think it was even a legal sell, to be honest. The thing was very easy on the eyes. Feathers, all the colors of the rainbow. Nasty bite, though. Wound up in the hospital and almost lost my hand. Still not enough for her to get rid of the dang thing. Anyway, there's a reason she's my ex-wife. But enough about me. We were talking about methane and other resources, right? Hey, can you believe it? Back in the 20th century on Earth, they used to fight wars over natural resources like this and petroleum. They had this whole moon here basically made of hydrocarbons in their own backyard. They just couldn't get to it. Incredible how far we've come. New Homestead is home to one of the oldest and largest methane processing plants in the settled system. Every year, UC engineers go through a painstaking, month-long maintenance process. That's how this place has remained operational as long as it has. I'm not going to take you too close to the machinery, liability and all, but I can still answer questions.
Medical attention, see Dr. Lakota. But a word of warning, she really doesn't care for tourists. Lots of history here, if you're into that sort of thing.
I'm amazed people could live out here.
Beautiful scenery, huh?
This place is inspiring, don't you think? There's a pit.
Stop!
There's
In
a
the name of the
pickpocket.
law!
I've heard about...
Stop!
There's a
In the name of the law! UC security, get back here now! UC security, stop right now! UC security, get back here now! UC security, get back here now! Don't be stupid! Stop now! UC security, stop right now! Don't be stupid! Stop now!
questions? Fire away. Ah, it's not as if... See, this place... During that time, the UC gets more of its resources from other places.
You're under arrest. No sudden moves. UC security always gets you in the end.